Hi, thanks for joining me today. My name's Denise Maccabe and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on the Central Coast. This is my Make It Monday. I'm going to try and do this every Monday, do a little video of how to make a card and different techniques so you can follow along with me. If I don't do it on a Monday, it's because I've had to work at my other job like last week, but generally I'm going to try and do this every Monday. So every year I try to have a look at the stamp sets in the main catalogue and see which ones I can turn into a Christmas card. And this is one I did with Free as a Bird. It's a lovely stamp set and it's just beautiful. So I thought I'll try and make this a Christmas card. So this is what I did. I've used the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder to emboss the metallic cardstock. This is in the holiday catalogue on page 45. I'll put that catalogue away. Where is it? Page 45, brushed metallic. You get 6 sheets in the packet, 2 of each. So they're bronze, copper and gold. So this is the bronze that I'm using today. And I've run it through the bricks and mortar embossing folder and this is the effect you get. So it's really nice. And then I've run a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock through the ornate layer dies. This one, which is just beautiful. So that's what we're going to be stamping the birds on. This is a take your pick tool. If you don't have one of these are really great. It comes with the pick end and a putty end to pick up sequins and stuff, but you can buy accessories like the die brush to go on it, and they just unscrew, so you can just screw different accessories into it whenever you're needing them. I leave these two on generally because these are the ones I use the most, the die brush and the pick tool. But yeah, that's really good to get all your little fiddly bits out of your dies when you're trying to once you've wound them through, and the pick tool is just to poke any other little ones out as well. So I've already done all that so that we didn't have to waste time watching that. So that's my made card. So I'll just reach over and get my black Memento ink and I'll put my birds on a block. Ink up my stamp. I'm stamping on the thick Whisper White cardstock because I've had a few problems with the normal Whisper White cardstock with the blends bleeding on it. And I watched another demonstrator demonstrate colouring with blends, and she always does it on the thick Whisper White. So I'm hoping that will work for me. So I'm just putting it at an angle so that it will fit onto my piece. So that's stamped. This is a stamping chamois. They're great. Don't get a shock at the state it's in. That's pretty normal, but it really cleans your stamps well. Okay, so I've got my blends here, the ones I'm going to use today. So I'm going to use dark crumb cake and light crumb cake on the branch. So just putting some dark where there's sort of the lines from the stamped image. You can use either end depending on what control you want over your colouring. That end, this end. I'll use this end because the other end's a little bit soft and squishes out a bit, so I don't want that happening. I suppose you'd call it the artist end, the brush end. Yeah, so you don't want to press too hard with the brush end. You can press harder with the chiseled end. And so I'm going to use dark and light mossy meadow for the leaves. And once again, I'm going to use this end because I find I have a little bit more control over it. I might just do that so far, and I might use the brush end just to blend it. So if you order the blends, you must store them on their sides, not like that. It's better to store them on the sides so the ink doesn't dry out in one end. I just feel I have more control with this end sometimes. A bit more up here. That's the leaves done. I'll just try and okay, that's the leaves done. Now where I've gone outside the line a little bit, this is a colour lifter, so you can just sort of erase it almost, if it's not too big a boo-boo. So that's the mossy meadow done. Now I've got light Rococo Rose for the flowers, so I might just use the brush end for that. Just always press very gently with the brush end. You don't want to squish down and apply too much pressure because it ruins it. I think I used a paler pink. I did. I used petal pink on my finished card, but that's okay. Change it up a bit. Now we get to the birdies. Now this time I'm going to do the birds similar to another card that I've done. So I'm using soft suede. I'll just see. So I'm using dark soft suede here, and just where any lines are from the stamping or where you think there would be shadow, and just do one bird at a time, and then with the light soft suede come in and I swirl to try and blend the two, the light and dark. This is soft suede, yes, yes, yes. I just sort of blend and swirl to blend them. Now I thought I'd give them red bellies, so I'm just gonna light cherry cobbler berries. Now this cherry cobbler is needing replacing. Now that sort of looks a bit funny at the moment, but if you get your colour lifter and just sort of swirl over the top, we'll see how that, because it does take a little bit to dry. If I don't like it, I'll fix it somehow. what I might do is I might do a little bit of red now. Oh yes, I do need a new one of those. So just sort of blend your dark soft suede in with your light soft suede, and you get that line away. I might go back and just do a bit more. On to the next bird. So wherever there's lines from the stamped image is where I tend to put the darker colour. Might go down here a bit. It's well, not a problem, but when you use your blends in your classes, they do tend to not get damaged, but get used, well used. And so sometimes people are a bit heavy-handed with the paint brush end, the artist end, and you know, your blend gets a little bit ruined, but that's okay. People are getting used to them. So my last birdie. You can see the colourings. You don't have to be a real artist, because I'm certainly not. Certainly not. So very softly with the brush end. And just sort of work it so that that just blends. They don't look too bad. I might put some dark crumb cake on their little beak. Went outside the line there, didn't I? To get my colour lifter. Just carefully erase it. I'll go back here and try and do a bit more here. Okay, so there you have your birds coloured. Not very hard at all. And then I've used a greeting very merry out of Itty Bitty Christmas. I'm just wondering what I'll use this one. Maybe Christmas cheer. Got to see what fits. Joy to the world would fit. It'd fit up there, maybe. Maybe that will be nice. And I need cherry cobbler. Now, I always practice on my paper. Yep. So I'm going to put that up here, I believe. Perfect. Stick my finger in my ink pad. That's not perfect. So now I will get the Stamp and Seal, because I do like that better. No, the Stamp and Seal Plus is the one I like better. The Plus, yes. The Stamp and Seal, you just got to have a bit of a knack with it, and I haven't conquered the knack. So the Stamp and Seal Plus is my preferred one. So attach that to your card base. Bit of ribbon. So we've got here the Whisper White polka dot tulle. That's what we've got. So I just do my ribbon's got a little crease in it, so I'm always trying to straighten the crease out. Been wound onto the spool and it's got a bit of a crease, but that's okay. I'll just fix this side up. Okay, so I put it up the top on that one. I might put it down the bottom on this one. So that's quite normal for your blends to come out the back, like show at the back. It seems to be better with the thick Whisper White for that too. So I just get a bit of double-sided tape and attach my ribbon. Yep. And then I need some dimensionals. Just threw something across the room. So just one in each corner and one in the middle so there's no sagging. And place it in the center. Eyeball it, or you can put it, I might put it over to one side actually this time, just for a change. Can't really see my ribbon. Yes, you can. And then I've got the champagne gems, which I do love. So I'll take my pick tool, and instead of putting them up the top, I'll put them down here this time. So you've got 3 sizes in these gems. They're just gorgeous. I always like a bit of bling. And this one. So there you have another card. Which one do you like? Do you like the red birds or the brown, the soft suede birds? I'm not sure. Oh, just found another little patch where I've gone outside the lines. Just try and take that off. There we go. So that's another card, Christmas card. I'll do something in the middle. I'll put another piece of white cardstock in there, and I'll stamp something in there, and maybe another Christmas greeting. So that's that card. Now, I've also played with Posted for You to make a Christmas card. So this is the Christmas card I've made with that, and that's using Merry Merlot cardstock, I believe. No, Cherry Cobbler. Sorry, I apologise. So Cherry Cobbler and the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. And I coloured these little birds like this. Comes as a bundle with a postage stamp punch. And coloured the birds, 3 of them, applied them, attached them to the card. I've used these beautiful antique photo corners that you can get in the main catalogue. So that's another card with birds. And with the same 2 stamp sets, I've made 2 birthday cards. So this is the Posted for You one I did with a birthday card. And this is the Free as a Bird that I've done as a birthday card. Now these these 4 cards are going to be a class in October. So I'll just grab my notebook and tell you the date. So this class is going to be on Saturday the 10th of October at 1:30. If you'd like to come along and make these 4 cards. It's a product-based class, so you will get a little container of the antique corners and slides. They're $14.75. So that's included in your class price. So your class price will be $40, and it'll include a little container of these so that you've got more to take home and play with. There's a slide out of the antique corners and slides. So that will be a class. So 2 will be Christmas cards and 2 will be birthday cards. Or if you wish, you can make the blue ones Christmas cards as well. I'll leave that up to you if you come along to class. So if you'd like to book in for that class, just send me a message or an email. And that's the bird cards that I wanted to show you. So that's our card for today, for Make It Monday. Thanks for stopping by.